Guy in high demand and nice enough to spend a few minutes with us, the athletic director at Michigan State University, Mark Hollis. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, as I understand it, we were all excited that both Michigan and Michigan State get to play in Michigan, essentially almost like a home game for both of them at Auburn Hills. And the AD's got to go somewhere else, huh?
Yeah, the AD's down in Dayton for the week, and very happy to be here. We're representing the NCAA at actually the first, second, and third rounds down here. So I've had a 10-game weekend, and it's been very enjoyable. We got great teams and great games starting down here as well.
It must have been weird to be away, though.
Yeah, it really was a little bit. And I'll tell you one thing, the opportunity you have to serve on a committee like this is because of the staff that we have back at home. I've got, a good handful of folks back there that all could be athletic directors in their own right. So to have Greg Ianni oversee things that are going on with the men's team, and of course Shelley Applebaum with the women's, having the confidence in those guys is what gives me the ability to reach out and try to do something that benefits the game of college basketball and the NCAA a little bit.
Okay, so I know a lot of friends who went over to Auburn Hills to see the game. I watched it at Gilbert's and Blake's with a bottle of wine and a friend and some lunch. So I thought it was a pretty cool way to play hooky on a Thursday afternoon. Where did you watch the game?
Well, I do agree with you. I think this Thursday and Friday are perhaps two of the greatest days because of the number of games that you have, and it trims down so quickly over the weekend. But I was courtside right here in Dayton watching a series of practices, and I didn't watch the whole game, but I got, out of the corner of my eye, I was able to watch a good chunk of it, and it was a very good setting in which to watch it in.
As I understand it now, we were in Chicago for the Big Ten tournament. We're going back to Indianapolis next year?
We're going back to Indianapolis, and actually that's, something that will benefit me personally because it is all about me, right?
And of course.
Yeah. With the tournament back in Indianapolis, of course, that's where selection week is, and looking back at Gene Smith's history at Ohio State while he was on the committee, I know he had an opportunity to sneak out every once in a while and take in some of the Big Ten tournament games while that selection process is going on. So if Chairman Wellman next year will give us that opportunity, we may see a few committee members over there once again to watch some of those games while we're in the sequestered process of going through selection. But it's a good rotation. I think, obviously the tournament sold out this year in Chicago, and there's a very distinct set of fans that go to both. There's a group that just wants to go to Chicago, and there's a group that just wants to go to Indianapolis. And maybe this rotation will prove to be the best. And it's the way we used to do it when the tournament first started, was going back and forth between Chicago and Indy.
It certainly is a different experience, though. I mean, it was fun because it was St. Patrick's Day, and you had other options if you wanted to go see the River Green, which we did. And you can obviously, the shopping is fantastic, obviously, for people. Your hotel there, the Marriott, was right in the middle of all that. But there's no denying that Indianapolis, when you can park the car and walk to everything, it almost feels like you're at the Olympics, because as you walk through downtown Indianapolis, you see a bunch of people in red for Indiana, a bunch of people in green for Michigan State, and there's some real convenience factor to that, too.
Well, St. Patrick's Day is your national holiday. So,
it is indeed.
It always is good to see the River Green when you wake up in the morning, I can imagine.
Especially when sometimes I see it when it's not, but of course it matches.
You're right on that description. It's, as you look at Chicago, you have, major media center, you have the downtown and the shopping areas. And I guess the only negative of Chicago would be the drive that it takes to get from where the hotels are out to the arena, the United Center there, where the games are played. And you go down to Indianapolis, and it's an experience where you can park your car and literally walk to great restaurants or walk to the games. So, I think they both have great opportunities for fans. And, again, I think this rotation that's in play right now will be something that we'll be watching very closely, but perhaps will benefit fans to have something different each and every year.
What were the ancillary benefits of having Michigan State play at Auburn Hills in this, I guess it's technically the second round, or the first full round? What were the benefits of that?
Well, it's something the NCAA put in play quite a few years ago, and that's to give opportunities as much as possible to play as close as home. And as you go through the bracketing process, that's one of the criteria that you look at. And as you go through the bracket, sometimes you don't have that chance. It just kind of comes with the bracketing process, where the teams are coming into play at a certain point in time, and which second and third round sites are available for them. But the desire of the committee is to keep teams as close to home as possible, if at all possible, and that's how both those teams landed there.
We're going to talk with Dennis Mannion a little bit later, the president and CEO of the Palace and the Pistons, and he's a guy, one of the only guys that I know of, and maybe there are others, who have a championship ring in all 4 major professional sports. How has the Palace been to deal with the Spartans coming over? Has it been successful so far, near as you can tell?
Anything Spartan known is easy to deal with. So it's, the Palace is a great facility for basketball. We've had a number of events down there. As you know, we almost play down there virtually every year. So it's a great venue for basketball. It was built for basketball, and the folks down there are fabulous from Tom Gores on down.
Tell me the truth. Did you fill out a bracket?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. Everybody else has.
I filled out one bracket, or assisted in filling out one bracket.
I see. I should have called
one
you.
Everybody else is following up on. That's the only one I filled out.
Somebody you and I know very well, a friend of ours, is running a bracket, and I don't want to say who it is, but you know him and I know him, and he's doing it old school, where you have to actually fax it in, or you have to write it and drop it off at his office in Okemos over there. And we're laughing because I don't know how he's going to administer the whole thing. Everybody has gone to the computers to do it now, where it's all totaled up for you. But I went there yesterday and I dropped off my bracket, and then I made a donation, if you put it that way, and I said to the secretary, do you mind making copies of this? And I just thought, okay, we're all complicit in this now, but we're all having a lot of fun. And this person that you and I know would be very chagrined to see that my bracket had Michigan and Michigan State playing in the championship game, with Michigan State winning in overtime. Okay. Now that's enough.
Sometimes isn't it nice to put technology to the side and just do something the old-fashioned way?
God, old school. I love it. No question about it. Like that game you had at Jennison Fieldhouse. That was
exactly
absolutely beautiful. Well, now you know who it is, I'm sure, by the clues I have given you. And
I gotcha.
Travel safely. Look forward to seeing you. I hope that's exactly how it comes out. That would be absolutely awesome, and always fun to see you. And we'll see you back in town.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Mark Hollis, and he says, I can't believe it, but football's right around the corner, too. Spring practice and the spring game coming our way.